Alright everybody, welcome back. So, originally, I had my free agency day one review to come out today. However, the video got corrupted, so now I gotta improvise a little bit. So today we're going to be taking a look at 10 different teams, looking at the 5 biggest winners of this year's free agency during day one, and the 5 biggest losers during free agency day one. So, there's a lot to look at here, if I'm going to be honest with you. There's not a lot of loser teams. I will be brutally honest with you here. A lot of these teams that I'm picking for losers really haven't done much of anything, if I'm being honest. And that's not to say that they're losers. It's just the fact that we need other teams to be, well, losers, I guess. So we'll start off with the losers column, just now that I'm talking about them. We'll start off with the Anaheim Ducks. I have the Anaheim Ducks as the first place loser because they made 2 signings, and the 2 signings they made were not very good. They signed Alex Killorn and Radko Gudas to contracts, and both of them are 33 years old, and both of those contracts will take them until they're likely 37, I believe. So, why? And yes, look, I understand that Kerfoot had a really good season, a career-high year heading into free agency, so he was going to get paid, but it was not a good signing for Anaheim when they're trying to get better. They're a last-place team who's signing 2 33-year-olds who are probably in the last season of their prime, if that. And, sorry, my tongue's blue because I was drinking Gatorade. But, they're players that are heading into the last year of their primes if they already haven't been past their prime. So, it doesn't look too good. I like the Gudas signing more than other people do, mainly because of, they want Gudas to defend the youth and defend the young players, which I don't mind. I think that's solid. But yeah, overall, not bad. My second loser, I have the Florida Panthers as one of my other losers. And people may be shocked about this, but I don't like the OEL signing. I think the OEL signing is kind of stupid, even though it is a 1-year, $2.5 million deal, something like that. So if it doesn't work out in a year, he is gone. But however, if they want to fix that blue line, OEL is not the answer. OEL is 100% not the answer. Additionally, they signed Nico Mikkola to a 3-year, $3 million contract. What? For a third-pairing defenseman, you're paying a third-pairing defenseman $3.5 million? Mikkola's not bad, don't get me wrong, but, what? That's what I didn't understand. That really broke my brain, to be honest with you. Apart from that, Florida didn't make too many other bad signings. They made a few other minor signings, too, but nothing so bad that they would be above them. The other 3 teams here, they really didn't do much of anything, if I'm being honest. Number 3, I have the Calgary Flames for one of the other losers, and they really didn't do anything, if I'm being honest. Because of course, they're still trying to look out and see what they want to do with some of their guys, see if they want to make trades or not. So the first day of free agency, they did basically nothing, if we're being fully honest. And that is kind of why they're in the losers category, and it's not to say that they had a bad offseason or anything like that, because they did nothing, and of course things can still happen, but I have to put in some losers. Another loser I had was the Minnesota Wild. They, of course, they also didn't do anything either, so there's really not much to talk about there with the Wild. And as well as that, too, my other loser, my 5th loser, is the Columbus Blue Jackets who only signed Adam Fantilli to his 3-year ELC. I hate putting those 3 teams in there, but honestly, I couldn't think of many other losers, and I'm honestly just scrapping this video together really quick, because I had a video planned for today, but then it got corrupted, so just some little life advice. Sometimes life will throw crap in your face, and that's what happened today. So, yeah, anyways, we'll move into the winners now. I have 5 winners, of course, starting off with the Carolina Hurricanes. I think they were the biggest winners, most likely, of day one of free agency. They signed Dmitry Orlov to a 2-year contract, and they also signed Michael Bunting to a 3-year contract, and additionally re-signed both their goalies to pretty good money. So, I like a lot what Carolina did. They bolster that blue line more, make it even more powerful and all the much better. And they also get a guy who's physical, offensively solid, and Michael Bunting can be a solid middle 6 forward with Carolina. I like it a lot. I really like what they've done in the first day of free agency, and they also signed their goalies to pretty good contracts. Because when you think about it, Rotz is going to be done in probably a year, and that's how much they have him signed to. And Anderson's likely going to be done within 2 years, and that's what they signed him to as well. So they thought of this very smartly. They did a very good job with these contracts. I like the Orlov deal. The Orlov deal is a nice contract, and the Bunting deal it's a good one. And if you need to move it, you can. So definitely a good contract and a very good free agency from Carolina. Next up, then I have the Red Wings, and the Red Wings are a little bit of an argue. You could argue them as some of their signings being loser signings, which I wouldn't really disagree with you with. Some of these were overpays, but they still made some solid moves. They signed Justin Hall, not a terrible defenseman, but had his moments with Toronto. We'll see how he does with Detroit. They signed JT Comfort, a solid middle six forward, to a 5-year deal. Hopefully, it doesn't turn out like an Andrew Kopp did. Hopefully not. But hey, they're bolstering that. They're really bolstering that forward core. That forward core is going to be pretty good next year. Of Comfort, Perron, Larkin, Raymond, and of course Kopp as well. So they have some solid guys up there in their top six. They also signed, I believe, Shane Gostisbehere to a 1-year contract, and they really bolstered their blue line a lot. I like the Gostisbehere signing. I think it's very solid for them. I mean, like Gostisbehere, he played well with Carolina, well with the Arizona Coyotes as well. So definitely a good signing there for Detroit. And additionally, if it doesn't work out very well, then I mean he's gone after that year, and you can just either deal him at the deadline for assets. So it's kind of what I'm thinking with Gostisbehere, but not too bad. Another winner that I have is the Pittsburgh Penguins, and the Penguins are a little bit less of a winner than all these other teams because honestly, when you think about it, it isn't the best moves in the world that they made, but they still made some solid signings. They signed Lars Eller to a 2-year deal, a solid middle six type forward, can provide some additional secondary scoring. They also signed Tristan Jarry to a 5-year extension. I don't mind that. Jarry, a solid goalie, played well this year, and I knew they were probably going to keep him anyways. They also signed Nedeljkovic, too, to a 1-year contract, so he will be probably the third string goalie. Not a bad contract there. He's a good third stringer. And then they also signed Ryan Graves to a 6-year deal, which I thought was very interesting. But Ryan Graves, a solid defensive defenseman, can be good on Pittsburgh's blue line, especially since they lost Brian Dumoulin. But yeah, I like that a lot for the Penguins. A solid win there. Next up, then I have the Avalanche, and not just for day one of free agency, but for most of this offseason, I feel like the Avalanche have done a very good job. They signed Bowen Byram to a 2-year extension. I like that a lot. Byram, a very solid forward. They also signed Jonathan Drouin, and I think this one could turn out as a very big win for the Avalanche because, when you think about it, Colorado with Jonathan Drouin, they're missing a lot of guys. They're missing a lot of forwards. They bring in Drouin on a 1-year, $800K deal. He's probably going to play with some of the elite players in Colorado, and that would definitely bolster his value a lot. And, I mean, Drouin's a really solid player. Drouin's on a really solid contract is what I meant to say. Because he's only 1 year, $800K. If it's bad, then you can either just waive him or trade it away for nothing. It's not that big of a deal. He's on a 1-year contract worth $800K. So it's a pretty simple deal there for Colorado, and I like it a lot for them. The Rangers were another team, and that's my final winner, by the way. The Rangers were another team that was a little bit confusing to me. New York, they seem to get older, and that was the weird thing. They signed Blake Wheeler to a 1-year, $800K deal, and Jonathan Quick to a 1-year, $800K deal as well. Now, I don't hate these signings. I don't hate them really that much because when you think about it, it's the same thing as the Drouin deal. They're both on $800K deals. You can easily get rid of them if they're bad, but it feels weird. Wheeler will probably be a bottom six forward with the Rangers, and you think they want to get younger when their core is already in the 30s. It seems really strange, if I'm being honest there. But they did lose a lot, so that is also something to keep in mind. Some other teams that I thought did pretty good were the Nashville Predators. Even though they had some confusing moves, I thought the Oilers also did pretty good. I thought the Bruins did good as well. But overall, not that bad of a free agency for a lot of teams. But anyways, let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you all for watching. We'll be making separate videos on separate teams very, very soon. But today I had to improvise, so I apologize for this. But anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Adios.